Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Enchant Films. Here are the 7 worst cakes from Cake Boss. Number 7, Hearst Cake. While most of Buddy Valastro's wildest ideas became delicious works of art, the Hearst Cake ended up looking more creepy than cool. Valastro should have run for the hills as soon as his client said, "I have a special idea." Instead, after a quick, incredulous "what are you, a putz?", Valastro and the team got to work to commemorate the birthday of an undertaker. The cake features a pink hearse, we're all hoping the trunk is empty, driven by a chocolate version of the birthday girl. The scenery surrounding the car is a strange combination of zebra stripes and psychedelic flowers, making for a dissonant aesthetic overall. While it was a thoughtful idea, some vocations simply aren't right for being depicted in the frosted world of cakes, and an undertaker is certainly one of them. Luckily, the birthday girl appreciated Valastro's work, but it's hard to imagine anyone else enjoyed biting into a corpse's preferred mode of transportation.
That was aggressive, sir.
Old school.
That's beautiful.
Buttercream.
Number 6, Toilet Cake. Buddy Valastro's hometown plumbing company wanted to celebrate its 100th birthday in style. Naturally, they hired Carlos Bakery and the Cake Boss crew to bake a toilet-themed cake for the big event. Valastro and his team decided on a life-size vintage model, complete with both frosting and flushing. Weighing in at about 150 pounds, the cake, which has a pump that circulates water, features a range of realistic sound effects. The cake includes a tank full of blue piping gel to mimic water and tasty versions of the various mechanisms used to make toilets functional. Valastro even added a newspaper and toilet paper roll to the scene to make it more representative of a real bathroom, which might, in turn, cause you to pass on dessert. "I do some of my best thinking on the toilet bowl," he said. Although the team opted out of including edible feces in the dessert, biting into a toilet only sounds marginally more appetizing.
I like to think on the bowl.
A light bulb just lit on top of you.
It's like an electrical reset.
Thank you.
Number 5, Wrigley Field Cake. The cake version of Wrigley Field was impressive. At 400 pounds and 25 square feet, it portrayed the infamous Chicago baseball diamond surrounded by hundreds of miniature fans, and yet it still ended up tossed in a dumpster outside the park. The infamous baseball stadium was celebrating its 100th birthday, and Buddy Valastro was tasked with giving the Chicago Cubs the Royal Cake Boss treatment. Over the course of 4 days, the team constructed a chocolate, vanilla, and chocolate fudge dessert panorama, complete with edible players and fans. But apparently, this one looked better than it tasted. The cake contained many base parts that weren't meant for consumption, and sculpting fondant that's hard enough to chip a tooth. Luckily, Valastro doesn't harbor any resentment for the demise of his creation. The Cubs loved the cake, he claimed to the Chicago Tribune. They felt bad those pictures of the dumpster came out, but what can you do?
His birthday a month ago. I didn't make him cake.
It's not your spirit sister. You know, you guys are blowing me off, and you know, you think you're so great. You're not the only bakers in town.
Number 4, $30 million cake. Buddy Valastro cashed in on a diamond-studded wedding cake at a whopping $30 million, breaking the record for the most expensive cake of all time. While most of Valastro's cakes aren't cheap, prices fluctuate in the lower thousands. This one was a whole new kind of extravagant. The bride insisted on adorning the cake with real diamonds, rubies, emeralds, and sapphires, making a bunch of the multi-layered cake inedible. That is, unless guests plan to sneak some of those riches out with them. Valastro admits the cake was pretty plain before the expensive decorations were added. He made a tiered vanilla cake with white frosting and placed the jewels haphazardly into that blank canvas. Valastro claimed he wanted the gems to steal the show, but even diamonds lose their luster when you start to think about the kind of person who is willing and able to spend such an exorbitant sum on money on dessert. Number 3, Lisa Cake. Apparently it wasn't Buddy Valastro's idea to render his wife in cake form, but he accepted the challenge nonetheless, and that seems to be where the cake boss went wrong. For Lisa's 30th birthday, Valastro sculpted her, down to the dimple on her chin, each curl in her hair, and the diamonds around her neck, from fondant and modeling chocolate. "I just want to share with you my vision of you," Valastro said to his wife as he stepped back to reveal his creation. He claims it's as pretty as cake thanks to the beauty of his model, but the thought of biting into a chunk of Lisa's arm ruins the sentimentality a little. Standing upright at over 5 feet tall, the cake's frosted eyeball seemed to follow Valastro's party guests around the room. Luckily, Lisa didn't seem to notice, unless her excessive enthusiasm was merely hiding her horror. We wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. But hey, it's a thought that counts, right? Number 2, Chandelier Cake. When Ed, Buddy Valastro's party planning customer, pitched a chandelier cake to him, Valastro's first question was, "Does it gotta hang?" "Chandeliers hang, buddy," Ed replied. Valastro, looking dismayed, says what we were all thinking: cakes don't hang. But soon enough, the Cake Boss team has displayed the cake, an upside-down tiered cake covered with brown sugar pieces and LED lights, all of which unfortunately resemble some sort of oblong virus. Beside its brown glass counterpart, both of them hanging from the ceiling by large chains. Sadly though, the chandelier cake was not long for this world. As Valastro lowered his creation down to the ground so he could serve it to his guests, it crashed to the floor. "It just slipped right through my fingers," he said, the cake in pieces on the dirty floor. Thankfully, no one was hurt by the shards of brown sugar that splintered from the masterpiece as it met its untimely end. Number 1, Ugly Feet Cake. A spa in Hoboken, New Jersey was holding an ugly foot contest and Buddy Valastro was hired to make a dessert. What could go wrong? The cake could have depicted anything, even vaguely related to pedicures, polished bottles, filing tools, even nail clippers. It could have just been a regular frosted cake. But in typical cake boss fashion, Valastro and his team dreamed up the most ridiculous idea possible and put it on a cake. The bakers carved 2 human feet, one before the pedicure and one after. Even if the foot is sparkling clean, no one wants to see it on their dessert plate. But wait, there's more. This cake also featured in gory detail a pre-pedicured foot, complete with warts, yellow toenails, and cracked heels. The fact that Carlo's Bakery was paid for this one is a feat in itself. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.